This series of exercises and stretches will help with taking a wider step and a longer step when you walk. The first series, actually all 4 stretches are done on the floor. So you'll go down to the floor and stretch out your legs. For the first set, you come up onto your forearm. So you want to make sure that you're not sinking into the shoulder. You want to be lifting up high. See if you can bring yourself totally parallel, perpendicular to the floor. Perpendicular, hips to the floor. So you're not leaning back and you're not letting yourself fall forward. Use the other hand to support you in front. Press your forearm so that you lift up. And stretch your legs and lift the top leg up very slowly to the height of your shoulder and very slowly lower it down. So it's just up, and imagine it's being pulled, the heel's being pulled, so you're really long, you're reaching out of the hip and down. So you do as many as these as you can. Shoulder height, up and down. Keep pressing the floor away. Keep your head neutral. And when you've done as many of those as you can, you lift up to the shoulder height and you make some very slow circles about the size of a basketball in one direction, and you'll feel your core working here as well, pressing the floor away with your elbows so that your shoulder stays stable, and then you take the circle in the other direction. So you're working your gluteus medius, you're working your outer thigh, you're working your inner thigh. Try not to chop off part of the circle. And when you're done, you're done. And then switch sides. I'm going to do the next set of exercises on this side, just to even myself out a little bit. And this next series is done with one knee bent. So for the first part, you're going to lean a little bit back onto the glute. So I'm not straight up and down this time. I'm just leaning back a little bit. And you take your foot and put the foot behind you. You're going to be lifting the long leg. This one is supporting you, your hand is supporting you, and you're lifted up. So you lift the leg up from the inner thigh, and again it's as though my heel's being pulled away and lower. You'll feel your abdominals work, you'll feel your shoulder work. So you lift up and lower, and up and lower. Ideally you're bringing this leg up to the height of this knee. Mine's not going so far. And up and lower. So you do as many of those as you can, and then you do them with the foot in front. So the first one was foot behind, this one is foot in front, and you won't be lifting the leg up as high. This will strengthen the inner thigh more. So with the last one, you were leaning a little bit back onto the outer glute, and this time you're straight up and down. So as though the foot was being pulled away from you, you lift and lower, and lift and lower. So this one is inner thigh, top leg forward. And again, you do as many as you can of this. This is something that you could do watching television. So next time you watch television, think of this, and lower. Now the series of stretches I'm going to show you are the legs up the wall series. So the first one is legs straight up the wall, stretching the hamstrings and the backs of the legs. The second one will be legs wide apart, so your legs are like a shape of a V. And the third one, you bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet together. So it looks like this. To get into it, lean back on your elbows, come as close to the wall as you can. Lean back on your elbows, and then come onto the floor as you pivot your hips around and bring your legs on the wall, straight up the wall. Now if your hips are not on the floor, you have to scoot further away from the wall. You want your hips down. So if my hamstrings are really tight, my hips are going to be up because I can't get the legs to stretch enough. Lower the hips by moving further away from the wall. So this is position one. It's very relaxing, legs up the wall, stretching the hamstrings. If you're not feeling much of a stretch, scoot closer to the wall. The second one is the legs go wide with the center of your heel on the wall. So don't let the toes just drop down. Keep the center of the heel on the wall. and you take your legs as far apart as feels comfortable. Make sure you don't feel any pulling on the inner knees. That's mostly tendons and ligaments, and you don't want to stretch those. Go for the stretch on the inner thighs. Center the heel on the wall, toes pointing straight to the back wall behind you. And the third one is to bend the knees. Bring the soles of the feet together with the knees out to the sides. You can stay in any one of these positions as long as it feels comfortable, but be sure and stay at least 5 breaths in each position. It's also nice then to repeat them and notice how the body has begun to open. Center heel, toes straight back, no pulling on the inner knees, and then soles of the feet together. To come out, you just roll to your side and lift up.